Heidi here from Rain Country Homestead, and as you can see, Patrick completed my off-grid laundry station. I've got my ringer. This is, 1924 ringer, and you see that in another video. And then yet another video I showed you the antique agitator that we bought. And this is also early 1900s. So you'll see each one of these, he has a hose hooked up. He's going to put a splitter on, so when I'm draining the buckets, we'll just hook another hose out. The door's right over there, and then we'll just drain the gray water out into the garden areas that way. So there's no waste in the water. And then probably to fill up the buckets, we'll do the same idea where we'll just use a hose, or I'll just haul water from the sink, depending on how it goes. All right, so let's get to part one of how Patrick made this. So if you're interested in making one like it, here's how you can learn.
Well, hey, extended friends and family in YouTube land. This is Pat from Rain Country Homestead, and this is an ongoing project for Heidi's wash tub. We're putting together a stand that's going to be about 16 inches tall, and it's going to be able to hold both of those wash tubs and also hold the ringer for her. And so what I got going on here is a little bit of brainstorming. So little scribblings going on here about the dimensions. I have to also build some hinges for this. I got the ideas from all this from just pictures that I'd seen online, looking at eBay and different things of different items, different old-fashioned stands that are for sale. And right now I'm working on this piece right here, this little foot stand right here, the ringer, which is going to be right in here, and there's going to be a board where it'll be able to fasten to with some thumb screws. And so like I say, right now I'm working on that little piece right there. Got a couple of pieces to the stand done. Now those were those little guys right here, and now I'm going to work on some of the cross members and pieces in here. So now I got my dado joint, my rabbit joint. Let's see, that one goes on that one. And then I'll clean up the bottom. You'd never see this, but I'm going to go ahead and clean this up to where that radius is to match the bottom of this curvature here. Also, when I actually put this together, I'm going to go ahead, I'll round this off, and all this will match. This is square right now, and this has a radius to it. So in order to do all the rest of the cuts here, the supports for the wash tubs and the legs, everything's going to be a 5-degree cut now, so I have to set up the radial arm saw to make the 5-degree cuts. And so right in here, I'm going to make this an inch in, and this will notch up like this and across and notch down. And the rabbet joint I make on this is going to be straight across here. I have this flat piece of wood on the back side, and this piece here is flat against this piece on the back side and parallel with the top of that board, so everything's true to 5 degrees. So I'm going to put my reference line in here, and that will tell me where to stop my rabbet. Now on the back side of this, I'm going to come in 1 inch onto here and mark from the back side up to where this notches up like this, and up like this, and then across halfway into that piece. So this right in here, I'll be cutting this out. So this piece right in here will have to come out. This piece in here, I'll notch it out this way. So the notch will come this way and the back that way, and that'll be a rabbet joint, and this will be the dado on this other side here. And so what'll happen is this is all going to lock together. All this will be locked together by having this in here, and on all this meat on this side, it should be good and strong. So in order to ensure I have the right angle set up on both saws, I took a test piece of wood and I set that up to the 5 degrees of the same pitch as the last cuts I made, the straight cuts, and I put it on the last piece that I cut on the miter saw, and then I put them together like so, and then I put in a straight edge on here. I can get that on there like that, and then I took a straight edge and put it up against the 2 pieces, and so everything is straight up and down with this piece, with the 2 pieces attached, flush in here, flush at the joint, and then it's everything is you can't see any daylight through your straight edge. So that tells me that the radial arm saw is true to the miter saw. And so now when I make my next router cuts that are going to be the same pitch as my legs, so it's going to be the same angle. Everything's going to be at the exact same angle for my rabbets and my dado joints. So now what I've done, I've just put this flat edge against the back of the tub support and put some reference lines in the tub support. So I came in an inch in on this end. I'll cut this piece out here. I've already got my radial arm saw set up at the right dimension, or the right depth. I'll remove the material in here for the feet, and I'll take this out of here, and hopefully that'll be a perfect fit. Well, let's just get after it. Okay, as you can see, that looks pretty good. Now I got 3 more to do, just like that one there. So that should be a good solid fit. We'll put either dowels in here. Either way, I'll go ahead and glue this together. So it's a good solid connection in here. And we'll use some kind of a fastening technique to augment the glue. So now that I got these two sides cut out, I have to go cut these out at the opposite 5-degree radius here, the 5-degree angle here. So I'm going to have to change. My radial arm saw to where it's over this way, to where I can cut the angle on this here. I'm just verifying the right angle, the 5-degree angle on the other side of the project, the other side of the tub support. So I'm all set up on my radial arm saw as far as my angle. My depth is already set, so I'll go ahead and get started on the other side. The other thing I didn't mention is I always like to number these, or letter them. That way I know which part goes where. I got that one labeled A. I'll label this one here A. This is a tub support cross member. I'll just label that A. And then when I go back, if I got 4 of these parts, then I know which one goes where. B. And B for that one. Now I can just set these two aside, and then when I go back to use them, they'll be, I'll know where to put them on the project. For our next cut, we're going to have to cut into the center of this thing for the upright. And again, I'm going to lock those together with, those will be 2 dado joints. And so I'm going to go ahead and dry fit all of my letters together. We got C, it goes to C. We got D, it goes to D. Or actually, looking for letter B. That's this one right here. So those go together. And then we're going to set this right in the center. We want to make sure that the bottom of this foot here is going to be in line or horizontal to match this down here. So I'm going to get a straight edge and put on the bottom all the way across there, so I know exactly where to put my joints where this crosses in here. Well, you know, there's a couple of different ways to do this. Squaring up the bottom to the base of this and over to the to where all feet are going to be parallel with one another. So when you go to set them on the floor, all the legs will touch. But obviously you can measure the distance in here, or you can take a straight edge like I'm doing here and make sure that you don't see any gaps in any of the legs. Then you can hold down this top piece. I'll also check this for square. I'll notch this out in here, so these will go ahead and sandwich into one another. I'll have to find out where the center is between the two edges here, so we'll do that. 43 inches, so that's 21 and a half. The center, double check my work, 21 and a half to center. We got 2 and a half, so that is going to be 1 and a quarter to center on this. 1 and a quarter to center on the leg. So that's the center of that. I'll go ahead and cut that piece. I'll get the other one to, I'll cut the other one the same way. Well, I got all of the side supports. I have to still build a cross member to go across here. That's just simply a board, and then I have to notch this out for the board to fit in. I have to make some cross pieces that will be supporting the bottoms of the tubs, and so not quite done yet, but I want to go ahead and cut all this stuff out before I start gluing it together so I can dry fit it. Well, the last scene you see me plane down the support slats for the tubs, and I have all the rails disassembled from dry fitting, and now I have to run a dado or a slot down here in the bottom for those support slats to sit into. I'll bring all that stuff together and glue it. So right now I got the machine set up for running a dado, and we'll get started. So the slats to support the tubs are going to go in here like that. These are still just a little bit moist. When they dry out, they're going to slip right inside that channel there, our dado joint. And so when that sets flat like that, then the tubs are going to actually sit on top of this. Okay, let's have a show of hands who drinks cold coffee in their shop with sawdust in it. That'd be me. Most of the time I drink it cold and it's got sawdust in it. I have to drill a couple holes here, and two of the slats, the slats that go down and support the wash buckets there. So the hoses the drain hoses can fit through the bottom of these slats. I mean, I could cut these two in half and separate them out a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and take a Forstner bit and cut right here dead center of these. So the it'll serve a couple of purposes. It'll actually help to center the the wash buckets, and I think it'll just be a little bit neater installation. I'm going to be working on the wash tub stancher for the wringer and 2 wash tubs that we have. We also are going to install the wringer on this stancher, and I'm looking for the old-fashioned rustic design, so I'm not going to be running these through the planer or sanding them down or anything, so it's going to be just a rustic look. Again, this is old decking off of my equipment trailer, and I redecked this last summer, and so this is all of the oak off of that trailer. I replaced that oak with Doug fir decking. So anyhow, this is really coming in handy. It's a good dense hard wood. This thing will be really solid. And so what I got going on here is I've got this level on here. I've got this measured up 6 inches, and I got this line straight across here on the level, and I'll put these cross pieces in here for support. I'll put cross pieces in support on through each one of these legs here, and so we're going to go ahead and get started.